Okay, 3.7, this is kind of a tough one. Okay, now I'm going to use over here, I'm going to make one box for problem. We have 6 parentheses 3x plus 5 equals 66. Now I do not make my wall because I have a parentheses. When I have a parentheses, I need to put a dot to the number before, and then I go inside and make sure there's a plus sign. If there's a minus, I just go plus negative. So I need to apply the distributive property. 6 to 3x, 6 to 5. So I go over here and put 6, 6. And then first I'm going to times it by 3x. And then I'm going to times it by 5. So 6 times 3x, well we need the x, and 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 5 is 30. So you drop your plus down, okay? And you put 18x and 30. Now, after you have put that down, you need to cross out the parentheses and the 6 that I multiplied. There's nothing else there, and I just have 66 over here. Now it looks like the last assignment. Okay, so now I can make my wall. So 18 and x, there's a times. X and 30, there's a plus, so I circled the times part. Now you got this 30 here, you have to take that to a 0 by either adding 30 or subtracting 30. Well, since the 30 is positive, to get back to 0, I would subtract. So minus 30, minus 30. That's 0. So 18 times x, 66 minus 30 is 36. Okay. Then I divide each side by 18. 36 divided by 18 then is 2. So if I see the dot, I'm dividing. Okay. X equals 2. Next problem, I've got 3 parentheses 4x minus 8 equals 12. So again, the parentheses I need to get rid of by multiplying. Okay. So the multiplying number on the outside is 3. We will multiply and make sure you got a plus negative. Okay. Okay, so 3 times 4x, and then after the plus we have 3 times negative 8. So I put x down, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. So bring your plus down, and you put 12x and negative 24. Then cross out the parentheses and the 3, there's nothing else there, so I put 12. Okay, now you can make your wall. 12 and x would be times, x and negative 24 would be plus, so circle the times part. And we have to get rid of this negative 24, we have to get out of there. Okay, so if it's negative 24, to get a negative from negative to 0, you're moving forward, so adding 24 and then adding 24 to your 12. So 12 times x, 12 plus 24 is 36. So 12 times what's 36? We see times, we need to divide now. Underline each side and put your 12. So 36 divided by 12 is 3, so x equals 3. I'm not going to check these because they're a pain. Negative 5 parentheses x minus 5 equals negative 25. Okay, so the multiplied numbers are negative 5. Now go into the parentheses. First off, if you have a minus, you make it plus, and then the number right after it negative. Now another thing, in these first problems, the x had a number in front of it, like 3 and 4. You can apply a 1 there if it doesn't have one. So now I multiply, okay? Before the plus you had 1x, after the plus you had negative 5. So I put x down, negative 5 times 1 is negative 5, and then don't put x here. Negative times a negative is a positive, and that's 25. There's no x. There's no x in that second one, so don't put it. Okay, so line up your equals, and you've got, drop down your plus, and we got negative 5x plus 25. So the parentheses and the negative 5 are gone. And over here I still have negative 25. Now I solve for x. Okay, so the wall's here because that's where the x is at. That's the side where the x is at. This is all about x. So negative 5 and x, that's a times. X and 25 is a plus. I need to circle the times. Get your 25 to a 0. Since it's positive, I'd go backwards. This 25 here, not that one. So it's minus 25. And minus 25 from the negative 25 on the other side. That's not 0. You're going to see me with the calculator here in a second. So I've still got negative 5 times x equals negative 25 minus 25 is negative 50. Okay, so I see times, I need to divide. Okay, by negative 5. So I've got x, negative 50 divided by negative 5 is positive 10. Okay, next problem, 42. This one's kind of an intimidating one when you look at it. 3 parentheses 2x minus 1. Think of it as, oh no, that's wrong. Okay. 42 equals 3 parentheses 2 minus 3x. So find your parentheses, you have a 3. Okay, so 3 times and 3 times. Now go into your parentheses and make sure there's a plus, so plus negative. So I'm going to be taking 3 times 2 and then 3 times negative 3x. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6. There's no x to put down. Here there is an x to put down. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Okay. So line up your equals, drop your plus sign down from here, and you got 6 and negative 9x. Now you cross out the parentheses and the 3. Those are gone. And you have 42 on this side. Okay, now the x is on this side here, this side of the equals, so that's where I'm looking to get rid of stuff from, not over there. So 6 and negative 9, you see a plus, negative. 9 and x would be times. Circle the times, because this 6 is the one we have to take to 0. Now it's positive 6, so to take a positive 6 to 0, you go backwards, so you'd subtract 6. And then subtract 6 from 42. So that's 0, it's gone. 42 minus 6 is 36, and over here you've got negative 9 times x. Okay, then I have times. I need to now divide. Don't add or subtract if you have times, okay? You're dividing. Underline it, place your negative 9. So these cancel, and I have x now by itself. On the other side, 36 divided by negative 9 is negative 4. So there's your answer. So next up. Okay, so the next problem, I have negative 10 equals 5, and then inside the parentheses we have 2x minus 4. So find the number right before your parentheses, and write that out twice over here with a times dot, because you have 2 things in the parentheses. Make sure you go plus with negative, So 5 times 2x, and then after the plus sign, we take 5 times negative 4. The distributive property is what that's called. So 5 times 2x, well I have an x, and then 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times negative 4, I don't have an x, but I take 5 times negative 4, and that's negative 20. So line up your equals, drop your plus, and you put 10x on one side, negative 20 on the other. And then the parentheses is gone, and so is the 5. And you put your negative 10 here. Now, x is on this side, so that's where we're at. So what do you have? You make a dot, you circle it. This number outside needs to get to 0. So to go from a negative to 0, you move forward. So that means adding, okay? Plus 20, plus 20. So we cross that out. On this side, negative 10 plus 20 is 10. And over here you got 10 times x still. Now, I see times, I need to divide by 10. Now the 10's cancel here and I have x. They don't cancel here, okay? Because there's no x there. We need to actually divide 10 by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1, okay? Okay, next problem. Negative 3 equals 3, parentheses 2x minus 1. So I've got 3 outside. And in the parentheses, make sure we have our plus. So I need to multiply 3 by 2x. And then 3 by negative 1. So I put x down. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. So line up your equals before you write anything. Now line up your plus, and you've got 6x and negative 3. So the parentheses is gone, so is the 3, okay? All these need to go. Now on the other side you got negative 3. So x is on this side, okay? So what are the operations? Well, that's 6 times x. And then the negative 3. And you have to get the negative 3 to a 0. So to go from a negative to 0, you're moving forward 3. So plus 3, plus 3. Okay, so you got 6 times x, and over here, negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Okay, now I see 6 times x, so I need to divide both sides by 6. You need to divide by the same number that's multiplied. 0 divided by 6 is 0. So I have 0 and just x. So you can get 0 as an answer. Okay, last problem. Negative 2 parentheses x plus 10 equals 12. So the number in front of the parentheses is negative 2. And make sure the plus sign's there, put a 1 so you can see it. And then I go negative 2 times 1x. After the plus we have a 10, so negative 2 times 10. So I write the x down, negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 times 10 is negative 20. So I line up the equals, I line up the plus, and then negative 2x and negative 20 fill out the plus. Now cross out your parentheses and the negative 2. And then line up your 12. Now the parentheses are gone and I can make my wall. So that's the multiplication number. You got to get your negative 20 to a 0, so that would be forward 20, so I'd add 20. So I have negative 2 times x, and 12 plus 20 is 32. Now negative 2 times what's 32? Well, we're going to divide and find out. So divide each side by the negative 2. So that's x. 32 divided by negative 2 is negative 16.